In this lesson, we're going to look at the properties of parallelograms and apply them in order to find missing values such as side lengths or angles. So let's review some of the properties that we know about parallelograms. First off, we're going to use the word box to help us complete the sentences, and then use these definitions that we're continuing with to answer the questions below. So it says in a parallelogram, opposite sides are blank and blank. So in a parallelogram, we know that opposite sides are parallel and congruent, which means that the sides have the same length. In a parallelogram, consecutive angles, and remember consecutive angles is another word for same side. Same side angles then are supplementary, which means they add together to equal 180 degrees. Their measures add together to equal 180 degrees. Another property of parallelograms is that the diagonals bisect each other. So that word bisect means that they split each other in half. So the diagonals, the lines going through in the center, cut each other into two equal pieces. So let's look at this example here. And we're going to label the diagram as we're working. This is a parallelogram. It says complete each statement using parallelogram A, B, C, D. If AB is 10, so this side is 10, what is the side length CD? Well, remember, based on our definition, opposite sides are parallel and congruent, so it means that this side also has to be 10. So CD is 10. If BC is 15, so BC is the side length in the bottom there, what's AD? AD will be 15. If angle ABC is 30 degrees, so angles are on the inside in the corners, find the measure of angle ADC. Well, one of the properties of parallelograms is that their angles are on the opposite corners are congruent. So if this is 30 degrees, then this one is 30 degrees as well. Number 7 asks, if angle ABC is 30 degrees, so we already have that, find the measure of angle BAD. Well, these angles here, angle A and angle B, are consecutive because they're on the same side of the parallelogram. So the consecutive angles are supplementary. So that means that I can take 180 minus 30, and that'll tell me the measurement of the other angle. So this other angle is 150 degrees. And knowing that, you can also then tell me that angle C over in this corner is 150. Because remember, all the angles inside of a quadrilateral have to add up to equal 360 degrees. Part 3. Complete each statement using parallelogram W, X, Y, Z. And the first step is to draw diagonals W, Y. So I'm going to draw a diagonal from W to Y, and then a diagonal from X to Z. And this is asking me to label the points where they cross as point T. So if WT is 5, so W to T, this length right here is 5, what is TY? So remember, we said that diagonals, they bisect each other inside of a parallelogram. So bisecting means it cuts it in half. So when they're bisecting, these two pieces on either side should be the same. So if this is 5, that means that TY is also 5. And then by definition, the diagonal, you can add together the two pieces, so the diagonal itself is 10, because 5 plus 5 is 10. And that's what number 11 is asking you. If the entire length of this XZ is 12, so from X to Z it's 12, find each piece. So find XT and TZ. So you have to do 12 divided by 2. You cut it in half. So that means that XT is 6. And TZ is 6, because if you add those together, you would get 12. So try part 4 using the properties of the parallelograms on your own. You're just looking for the missing value that's indicated in the parallelogram.